on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1274. That's right, episode number 1274 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today, back at Red Morton Park. Time is of the essence. Couldn't make it out to the trail today. It's about 66 degrees. It's a beautiful day. Slight breeze, but it's all good. Hey, babe, how are you doing? Welcome to the show, respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Dawn, my lovely lady Dawn, is here in the house first. Today, I'm doing a very special show. And we can talk about whatever. There have been a lot of things that have been surrounding our GNA group here on YouTube. GNA, short for Genuine Networking Association, my limited liability company, the personal development company that's run by me, owned by myself, and I'm also the president and founder. Now, that doesn't mean it's not a shared thing. It's a bunch of great people helping me run it and spreading the positive nature regarding the purpose of the organization. And despite what some quite interesting people on YouTube might like to say otherwise. But today, this show is about a YouTuber that goes by the first name of Bill. That's not his YouTube channel name. I don't need to mention that. And the topic is, Bill, here's your chance to prove your independence and more. One more time, Bill, here is your chance to prove your independence and more. If you're new here, you're probably not going to understand what's going on. If you've been here for a while, you probably will. There have been a lot of things surrounding myself, my girlfriend Dawn, our channels, and other things out here on YouTube. There have been a lot of things surrounding us in negative ways by a group of people, primarily led by one YouTuber that is currently also live right now. He's a gentleman I am suing for malicious prosecution, abuse of process, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and defamation of character. And we have a hearing in 34 days regarding a motion to dismiss and anti-SLAPP that the defendant filed. Like I mentioned yesterday on my stream from the trail, I'm well prepared for it. I'd say I'm about 80% prepared and have 34 more days to do it. I'm done analyzing and I'm just putting it all together. And probably by the end of next week, I'll be 99% prepared. Technically 100, but once I get all the paperwork done and the notes done and all that stuff, and I just have to practice reading out loud and looking at different scenarios and possibilities that the judge may ask, Judge Stacy and all that, right? Hey, ODN, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. But anyway, so there's been a lot going on within this one group. It all leads back to the main person that I'm suing, the defendant. for the last 6 years, he has rebroadcasted my live streams as they're happening live in their entirety or nearly in their entirety. He's done it himself probably at least 400 to 500 times. And now, because we're in active litigation, he's not doing them right now, and he's dished them off to some other people. And there's one person he's dished it off to right now, in my opinion, and it's this guy, Bill, who has been restreaming me very often. Out of the last, I'd say 35 to 40 days, he's restreamed 18 of my streams. And he did restream me yesterday. I knew about it. I asked him some questions, and I went back to listen to his replay. I downloaded it. And I also shared a link to it on the community walk here with a timestamp of where to go to hear him answer some questions I asked him. And I asked him, if I were to go live at the same time as your friend, the defendant, would you restream me? He goes, no. I asked him that like 4 times. I even said, would you restream me or not? Because you're afraid if you do that and you pull viewers away from your buddy, the defendant, while he's live at the same time as I am, that he would remove you from the group. He's like, oh, give me a break. Oh, yeah, give you a break, right? Right. You couldn't answer that question with a straight face, huh, Bill? Yeah. You couldn't answer that with a straight face, right? You see, here's the thing, right? You know, both the defendant and Bill have gone public over the last few weeks, and they've said that Bill is independent. He does whatever he wants. I have no control over what he does. And Bill has said the same thing, right? So if that's the case, I'm live right now. The defendant is live at the same time. If you're truly independent, Bill, then why won't you rebroadcast me right now? Why won't you do that? Seriously, why won't you do that? Oh. If you're truly independent, you're not dependent on the defendant in my circuit civil case, and dependent on his audience, and dependent on him not removing you from the group, and it's completely your audience, has nothing to do with him, why wouldn't you go and rebroadcast me right now? I'd like to hear an answer to that. I bet you will not answer that. You didn't answer last night when I said, are you afraid of him removing you from the group? Is that why you said no to the question that I asked you 4 different times? If I went live at the same time as the defendant, would you restream me? You said no. So why? Why won't you do that? Can you be more specific? No response. I put a community post out earlier, no response. Of course you're not going to respond because you know the reason why. You already know the answer. All of you do. It's all a game, right? It's all a game to you folks, right? You want to make it a game. We don't play games here, right? What I do here as part of my personal development is I talk about situations that are happening. And then all I do is ask legitimate questions. And if you choose not to answer them, when they're pretty basic, easy questions, then you're pretty much telling us exactly what your intentions are, right? Now, I'm not here to speculate or accuse anyone of anything. I'm not here to speculate or accuse anyone of anything. But behavioral patterns typically speak for themselves. Behavioral patterns typically speak for themselves. And that's why I decided to go live. I was going to go live at 5 o'clock anyway today. That's the time I typically go live anyway. It just so happens to be at the same time as the defendant. After a stream yesterday where Bill, who was rebroadcasting me, specifically said that he will not restream me while the defendant is live, and he wouldn't answer why. He wouldn't answer why. You could still answer why once the stream is done, Bill. Once the defendant's stream is done, you could go live afterwards and do a real reaction video under fair use using small clips and responding to my questions. Will you do that? Because you say you're independent. You say you're independent and you do things on your own, right? Let me ask you this, Bill. Is it ironic that your audience is at least 95% the same shared audience as the defendant in my circuit civil case, whose stream you're probably on right now, at least in the chat, maybe on the panel, who knows, right? Is it fair to say that your audience overlaps with his, which is the only reason why anyone even shows up to your restreams? Because here's the thing, Bill. There are many ways I can handle this. I can eventually file a copyright lawsuit on you, right? That's a possibility. I've got other lawsuits I'm dealing with right now that are taking up enough of my time. But I have no problem filing another one down the road. But here's the thing. That may not be necessary with you, Bill, because here's the thing. I think the court of public opinion will see for themselves what's really going on here, right? And obviously, Bill, I'm not here to try to win everyone over. I'm not here to try to win your audience, which is also the defendant's audience. I'm not here to win that audience over. Those people are going to be loyal to you, folks, no matter what you do, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, right? Those people will be loyal to you no matter how much you repeat the same stuff over and over and over again. They just show up to show up, right? I'm not here to try to convince those people, right? But there are a lot of other people that are watching, and they choose where they spend their time, and they choose who they respect and don't respect, right? And instead of potentially going to court with you, I honestly think that the court of public opinion, if they haven't already started seeing what's really going on here, I'm sure they're now going to see it more clearly especially after your performance last night, where I don't even know if you realized what you admitted in the middle of a rebroadcast on my live stream last night. You said you would not restream me while the defendant is live if I go live at the same time as him. It's very telling, right? It's very telling. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly, please. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Thank you, babe. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Don. And again, like I mentioned last night towards the end of my stream, Bill and everyone else, this is why I didn't go on your panel the last time. I changed my mind because what was it going to do? What was it going to do? Give you an opportunity to insult me? And I wouldn't get triggered, Bill. I don't get triggered anymore. It's been many years since I got triggered out here over dumb insults on YouTube, right? But even just sitting there for 15, 20 minutes, just being quiet, letting you insult me, not getting triggered, yeah, that would prove strength on my end, but it's not worth it. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. ODN says 1. Thank you. What was I going to prove? Right? You had a bunch of people waiting for me. I knew they were waiting for me. You kept waiting for me. Other people complained that I didn't show up. And they were saying, oh, we were waiting for you. And I said, how long were you going to wait for me? Would you wait another hour for me? It sounds like you would, right? Now, I'm not the kind of person that skips out on my obligations. When I make plans with somebody legitimate, I keep them, right? This is a drama group that plays games, right? This is not a legitimate group of content creators, in my opinion, right? They play games as part of their content or as their entire content, right? And I'm not one that likes to play games, but sometimes the only way to teach these people a lesson and to try to get them to back off is to say you're going to show up, make them wait, and then not show up. And then watch them get mad and call you out for not showing up. And then I can go live here on my end in a cool, calm, and collected way and say, wow, you were going to wait for me all night because you love drama and have nothing better to do, right? Right? You love drama and have nothing better to do, right? You see, Bill, here's the thing. If you're really doing these restreams for the right reasons, for your own interest, right, then you would have no problem doing a response video to this later tonight. Do it properly. Use 3 to 5 minutes in clips. Do not do the whole thing. That's not proper. And respond to the questions I asked you. And I really want you to respond and let us all know, why will you not rebroadcast me right now while I'm live when you do it every other time except when the defendant is live at the same time? Explain. Why won't you do it? You just said no, but why won't you do it? Right? Why won't you do it? And if you don't answer that, Bill, then we're going to automatically assume that you're just playing games, which we already know that allegedly, Bill, because I'm not going to accuse people because I can't read people's minds. Go ahead. I'm not gonna accuse someone because I'm not a mind reader. But allegedly, we know why you're doing it, right? You want to play games, right? You want to play games. I'm in active litigation with the defendant. Him restreaming me right now is very, very risky for him. Court optics, 34 days away from a dispositive hearing, motion to dismiss / anti-slap, right? And here's the thing, Bill. If anything, you're pretty much like a patsy because typically there are other people in that group. I'm going to let these people pass because there's a bunch of dogs there and they're all yelling. There are other people in this group that are much closer to the defendant than you are that would typically rebroadcast me over you. And they're not doing it right now because they don't want to cause issues regarding the court optics, right? Give me a second here. So guess what, Bill? You're the last resort. You're the one that they've chosen to do this, in my opinion, of course, because they see you as low risk, right? Even though I've already filed something on you, your name is now on the docket of the circuit civil case. You already know that. And if you want to keep on pushing it, then, we'll just have you join another person that kept on pushing it. And there's been a lot of filings made on them. And again, at the end of the day, whatever happens in court happens in court. It's primarily between myself and the defendant. But here's the thing. Forget about the court situation, Bill. Let's talk about YouTube optics. Let's talk about beyond the small group of people that surround your buddy's community, the defendant's community, and your community, same audience. What is it, 25, 35, 40 people? Beyond those people, what do you folks have? You see, what happened yesterday and the day before is very telling to me, Bill. And same with the defendant. The defendant put out a bunch of community postings yesterday. He put out a community posting of Natasha C. And he was also talking about the other lady, Jessica with a K, right? Who, was arrested allegedly for animal abuse animal abuse, right? Allegedly. She was arrested based on probable cause. And I believe she has been released on bond. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I've heard. Now, until there are formal charges made by the district attorney, that's everything about the case. There's nothing left to talk about the case. And a lot of people in this group, including the defendant, you talked about it, Bill, the defendant talked about it. Some lady named Darling Nikki talked about it. Natasha talked about it. I think even Scotty talked about it. Like, all you folks just did was regurgitate the same thing. There was one article put out about the situation, right? And then you guys all made this into a big spectacle. You made it into like a trial by jury of drama people on YouTube, right? First of all, this woman has not been charged yet. Now, it doesn't mean she didn't do it. Maybe she did it. Maybe she didn't. And sure, she's had a history of this in the past. that doesn't mean the same thing is happening here. We don't know what happened until we hear her side and until charges are filed by the DA. And then I also mentioned about the defendant that, hey, look, you don't know what her mental health is like. Maybe she's struggling with mental health stuff. You also don't know what her financial situation is. The defendant tried to make it come off like, he's Mr. Moral high ground, right? When he has family he can fall back on, and so can I. We have him and I, the defendant and I both have family we can fall back on if we need to. He knows it. I know it. This lady may not have that. I don't think she had that. And I believe she's been struggling with a lot of mental health stuff. But you say you're on a moral high ground, but you're not taking people's mental health into consideration? Really? So I called it out yesterday respectfully, and I'll say it again here today. I'm very fortunate to have family I can fall back on if necessary. So is the defendant. He has family he can fall back on. And he can sit there in the home where he lives and run his mouth all day, every day, and not have to worry about where his next meal comes from. Doesn't have to worry about freezing in the cold. Doesn't have to worry about anything. And same with me. And then you want to come at this woman and try to use her situation as content and a way to create more conflict so you can try to reignite the donation for drama campaign, right? My only problem is the fact that you tried to put yourself on this high moral high ground. And, sir, alone, the things you've done to me, the way that you've violated me, defaming my character, violating my copyright massively, the things you've taken from me, I personally know where your level of morality is, at least regarding my experiences with you. And I'm sure many other people that have experienced situations with you over the last 8 years out here on YouTube would question your morality as well. And then he also went at Natasha. Let's just call her Natasha C. I won't say her full last name. And then Natasha, I guess he tried to leverage and reignite drama with Natasha and some other people in the Krama group. Krama is true crime and drama mixed together. It's a group of primarily ladies and some men that create true crime content, but sometimes they do drama content amongst each other, especially when something like the situation with Jessica with a K happens, right? Then they turn it from, true crime to actually drama within the community. Now, I guess, I don't know, can you consider that situation with Jessica with a K true crime? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. She hasn't been charged with anything yet. She was arrested on probable cause. And then you've got all these people that are surfing all over the internet and speculating on what's going on, right? And making 6-7 hour streams. Like there was a stream almost 7 hours long by Darling Nikki, and then there was some other streams that were 2-3 hours long. Now, I didn't watch any of these, what I did was I got the transcripts and I ran them through ChatGPT. I don't have time to go through 5 live streams in 2 days over the same thing with like 15 to 20 hours worth of content. So why do I even care? Why do I even care? I care because this is the community that surrounds me, and this is a community that continues to violate me even personally. Even though I'm in a circuit civil case with the defendant, and even though both the defendant and Bill claim that Bill is independent, he can do whatever he wants, right? In my opinion, because I'm just going to state it as my opinion right now, in my opinion, this is more of a coordinated thing. It's more coordination, in my opinion. Ultimately, if I decide to press that issue with the court, then it'll be up to Judge Stacy and the court to decide the level that, Bill affects, what the defendant has done to harm me, coordination style. If I go that route right now, I made one filing in the last hearing regarding this, and I'm not pursuing that route, at least at this point. That could change. I have not decided if I'm going to file more evidence with the court for alleged coordination. The truth of the matter is, I don't want to be dealing with every single person from one drama community in court. I don't even want to be dealing with the person I'm in court with right now, but I don't have a choice. I have to. It just won't stop, right? It won't stop because the defendant and other people in this group, they seem to feel like they have an entitlement to people's entire catalogs of content, and they can just say it's fair use and I can use as much of it as I want, even rebroadcast you while live, as long as I'm doing commentary. And that's not the way fair use laws work, right? And I think they know that, but they've been getting away with it for so long. They've never been sued before until now by me. So they're used to saying the same thing that they're now saying while they're being sued. And the truth of the matter is, the amount and substantiality matters. The nature of the use matters. Is it transformative or not, right? And how does it affect the original and the marketplace, right? There's 4 factors to fair use that people like the defendant and Bill and others in that community have been flexing fair use and saying it's all fair use, right? Because they've never been sued before for copyright, right? But now there's going to be an upcoming federal lawsuit. Now, you can't just go by what you think the law is. You have to go by what the law actually is, right? Earlier this morning, after I did my stream yesterday, the defendant removed 3 postings from his community wall. Fortunately for me, I'm good at preserving evidence. And I mean, this is what he removed doesn't need to be filed with the court. This is, I screenshot things regardless of whether I need them or not, because you just never know, right? But the point of the matter is, he removed 3 screenshots. One was a posting on Natasha C. It was a very nasty caricature of her. And then the other 2 were regarding Jessica with a K. And I think what got to the defendant was the fact that I was saying, look, you don't know her mental health situation. You don't know if she has any family to fall back on or not, like you and I have family to fall back on. I think what really hit the defendant is the fact that he's realizing that, hey, what I said makes sense. He has family to fall back on, and so do I, and she may not. And you can't sit there and speculate things based on what happened in the past. This is a new case, and this involves due process. Everyone is entitled to due process, and everyone in a criminal case is innocent until proven guilty, despite how many times you've been guilty in the past. It's a new case. You're innocent until proven guilty. Now, I'm not naive here, okay? I mean, I'll be honest. It doesn't look good what happened. It doesn't look good what happened. But again, I'm not going to accuse someone of something until they have their day in court, or until at least they make a plea, guilty or not guilty, right? And until at least the DA decides to file charges or not. But these people on YouTube, they have no other content. They want to keep that drama donation engine going. So they basically want to play the role of the DA, and basically, in my opinion, practically already put charges on this woman in the YouTube court of public opinion. And I'm like, come on. This is ridiculous, right? And here's the interesting thing, right? You got some people in the defendant's group, like you, Bill. You yourself have a public record. You have a public record yourself, Bill. I don't have to put it out there because I just don't have to. I could. It's public information, right? But see, Bill, you have some nerve. You have some nerve to be talking about someone else's criminal record. Or not criminal record, but potential criminal charge, right? That hasn't happened yet over an arrest. When you yourself have done something that is actually far worse than what she did in most people's eyes, right? Do you not remember what you did? And I'm not here to bring up the past, Bill. I'm just saying you should be grateful and thankful that, hey, that happened and you did your time. You did whatever you had to do regarding your situation, and now you've got another chance. You should be humble and grateful and thankful. And additionally, Bill, the same person that you did that to still allows you to live in that home, from what I've heard, allegedly. And I think that is the case, right? If I'm wrong, my apologies, but that's what I've heard, right? ODN. Happy birthday, Tia. Is it your birthday, Tia? Happy birthday. I'm sorry, Tia. Happy birthday, Tia. It's Friday night. Don and I last night, we saw a 3-part Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD. They had a 3-part series, 3 hours, a little over 2 hours without commercials. That's why you wait to watch it on Peacock with Peacock Premium Plus with no commercials. It was a great 3-part crossover series, which is what they call it. And they've done that with Law and Order before. NBC and Dick Wolf, because Dick Wolf is the executive producer on all the Chicago shows and all the Law and Orders. Wow, Dick Wolf is the man. I got to tell you that. Dick Wolf is the man. My lady and I both love Dick. We love Dick Wolf Productions. And don't take us out of context, and no pun intended or anything like that. His name is Dick Wolf. Or maybe we should just call him Richard, right? Anyway, and Law and Order is on tonight, and Law and Order SVU. Tia says, for those of you that just joined us, we would appreciate smashing the thumbs up. Thank you. It's appreciated. Well, thank you, Tia. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Right. So anyway, yeah. It's been a long week. Don and I got a lot of work done this week. I got a lot of work done around the house with Don, plus a lot of work done on the case on the computer. And I'm like decompressing right now. Tia says, thank you for the birthday wishes, Eli. Well, you're very welcome, Tia. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to you, and we really appreciate you. We really do. And many more to come. I know you had a conversation with the ladies earlier today. I stayed completely out of it. I kept my distance. Let you ladies talk. Don told me it went well. I'm very happy for you, Tia, and Dawn and Sandra. You guys are a great team, and same with you, ODN. I couldn't ask for a better executive team, especially a group of people that really understand the YouTube dynamics. It is important that you have an executive team where they understand the dynamics of YouTube. Give me a second here. So, my whole point of this stream today, it's really sad to me. It's really, really sad to me what people like the defendant in my circuit civil case say on one hand and then do something completely different on the other hand, right? And he might come back and say, what does it matter to you? You just wanted to reinsert yourself. No, I didn't want to reinsert myself. I will make commentary on things when I see them fit for commentary. Well, ODN, we will handle that another time. I agree. We have a great group of people. I feel very fortunate. Of course. Thank you so much. Yeah, ODN, here's the thing. What that guy tried to do over the last few days, he tried to reinsert himself into the Karama community, and they basically declined. They basically knew exactly what he was trying to do, and in essence, they shut him down because the fact that him and I are in court, right? He can't really use me as content for donations. He can talk about me, but he can't defame me. He can't use me, and he won't use my content because he knows a copyright case is coming. I mean, he could try to use it, but I'm going to assert my copyrights on YouTube and also in federal copyright court once I get those certificates, right? But because he's trying to be careful for court and he still needs content for YouTube to keep the, you know, to keep the conflict drama engine going, he's going to try whatever he can. And he's already, like I said yesterday, he's already burned a lot of bridges. He's burned a lot of bridges to the point of where him going back to the same communities years after he already burned those bridges is not going to yield him anything. And despite the fact that we're in court, all I'm doing is making commentary. All I'm doing is what I would have done court or no court. Man, those e-bikes are very dangerous when they are being ridden at 30 miles an hour on a sidewalk. That's just insane. I mean, here's the thing, ODN. There's court, there's YouTube optics and all that type of stuff, right? And I'm at the point right now where I've pretty much tried to put, or I've pretty much tried to put myself, which is what I'm trying to say. I've tried to put myself in the best position for both, because court does matter. It is very important in this situation to resolve issues that could not be resolved otherwise. That's why we're in court. I tried to resolve them in other ways. Years ago, the defendant kept giving me the bird, big F you, right? I'm like, okay, if you keep giving me the bird, giving me a big F you, then we got to go to court, right? And now, you know, give me a second here. Hold on. Anyway, you know, if he wants to continue to do the insults, insults are protected speech. They're protected speech. I mean, he could get platform enforced for him, but they're not actionable in court. You can insult people all you want. I mean, here's the thing, ODN. I love my mother. That's all that matters. So does my brother. So does Don, right? I've got a great family. You've got a great family, ODN, right? And that's all that matters. And, you know, if some 40-year-old, you know, spoiled, entitled guy on YouTube, you know, it talks in nasty, insulting ways about people and their parents and all that, I mean, we can just ignore it. We can ignore it and let other people see for themselves the kind of person he is, right? And the more and more that we ignore, or at least not let these things bother us, we don't. Give me a second here. All right, we're back. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. I had to mute for a second. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me, please. We're at 56 minutes, huh? Thank you, babe. Respectfully, maturely, impressionably, Don. What matters is, do we let it get to us anymore? ODN with 1,000,000 ones. Thank you. Do we let it get to us anymore? No. We look at it and we just say, wow, this guy is really struggling one way or another. We don't have to accuse him of anything. We can just say, hey, someone that constantly reacts and behaves this way is struggling one way or another. Right? I mean, at times we're going to talk about things because we're on a shared platform and it will affect us if we don't. Right? But when we talk about them, it's about how we talk about these things. Do we talk about them in a mature and respectful way? And that's all I'm trying to do, right? All I'm doing is stating exactly what's going on in a respectful and mature way. Now, the other side's not going to like that because they want to continue getting away with what I'm clearly explaining or what we're all clearly explaining here, right? And in order to enrage their audience to donate, they need to trigger us. They need to put us on the constant defensive. And when you finally realize what they're trying to do to us to get us to react to cater that to their audience, once we realize what the game is, we stop playing the game. And we start to look at it more methodically. We start to look at it as more of a distraction or noise, right? And then we teach lessons on it like I do to help other people work through it as well. Because drama groups like the defendants, they're dependent on people overreacting. And most people are going to overreact to the things that the defendant does on purpose because he does outrageous things at times on purpose to get those reactions. But when you realize after seeing him do it for a while, it's one big act, then you just say whatever. He's just trying to fire up the drama kettle again, the drama donation kettle, right? By getting you to react so he can make content off of you and sell that to his audience, right? When you know how to shut off that spigot, it changes everything. The dynamics change, right? Out of curiosity, I'm just wondering how many people are over there. ODN, are you checking it out over there? Maybe he's getting botted. Who knows? Doesn't matter, you know. I'm not here to compete with him. This is just the time I typically go live. I've got a lot of things to do. Sometimes I can't go live until 5, sometimes even 5:30 or 6. It doesn't get dark till after 6 now, when we gain a minute of sunlight every day, heading back to daylight savings time or towards daylight savings time. Babe, if you have any quote, start getting it in now. I'm going to start wrapping this up really soon because I want to get home sooner. And Don and I have some things going on tomorrow. Oh, there's her quote. Respectfully, maturely, professionally, Don's quote of the day is, people who copy your business to ruffle your feathers reveal more about their insecurity than your success. Originals lead, imitations only follow. One more time. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, my lovely lady Don's quote of the day. People who copy your business to ruffle your feathers reveal more about their insecurity than your success. Originals lead, Imitations only follow. Wonderful, babe. Could not have said it better myself. That was well done. Well said. I want to talk about one more thing before we go. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I will. Um, Miss T, another lady in the defendant's drama group, right? She's been kind of doing her own thing lately. She has said that she's going to probably not be around much throughout the entire month of March, and I've done absolutely nothing to her, and she continues to accuse me of things on purpose because my name is the value, right, Miss T? And she says I didn't watch that stream she did earlier. She removed it from YouTube and then re-uploaded it to Rumble. I downloaded it and ran it through my transcript program and ran it through ChatGPT because I'm not going to sit around and listen to 2 hours of nonsense, right? Like, honestly, all the streams, these people in this group that the defendant surrounds, let's just call it that, like they did literally like 20 hours worth of content at least over the last day or two, maybe 25 hours. God, man, that's over 24 hours. Like that's over one full actual day, right? And that's why transcripts are great and chat GPT analysis is great because they can read the whole thing quick and analyze it for you, right? And I'll just say this, Miss T. Yeah, you keep on promoting that website. I don't care. Run your WordPress.eliasmelas, whatever website, right? You don't even have a proper domain, right? You get the generic free WordPress version, whatever, right? Do what you got to do. Try to send people there, right? I mean, if you want to spend your own hard money to promote that on Google through Google Ads, do what you got to do. Here's the thing. That website doesn't mean a damn thing. Nobody cares, Miss T. You want to basically make that website into a YouTube community wall that is less likely to be platform enforced because WordPress's terms of service are different than YouTube's, right? Now, if you ran a WordPress site where you self-host it yourself, then you have your own domain. You really have much less to worry about. You don't really have to worry about terms of service besides your web host provider, which is really not much to worry about. But anyway, you're not going to be enforced on the website. So you're definitely using that website as a community wall that can bypass terms of service, right? You go right ahead and put whatever you want to put out there, right? Put whatever you want to put out there. Who cares? Right? And I wasn't even going to mention anything, but quite frankly, whatever. Have a little time. And I just want to make everyone else aware that was mentioned in that stream. There were a lot of people mentioned, right? That we're unfazed by it. We're unfazed by it, right? What do you think, Miss T, you're going to accomplish with that website? Are you going to get my YouTube channel shut down? No. Is that website going to have the police knocking on my door? No. Is that website going to get me in trouble in any way, shape, or form? No. Are people going to stop following me because of that website? No. Do you really think that you have the power, Miss T, between your now demonetized YouTube channel and a WordPress website to convince the majority of the world to not support the GNA? Hey, Sandra, how are you doing? Hey, Eli, I'm at an Italian Heritage Festival. I can't hear a word you are saying, but I just wanted to say, hey, the music is good. I'll catch the replay. Well, thank you, Sandra. Happy birthday to you, our dear Tia. Absolutely. We love you, says Sandra Palacio. Yeah, we do. No worries, Sandra. You take it easy. Hope you're having a great time. Hope you're doing much better with your health. Your health is a lot better, right, Sandra? I think you're doing a lot better, like you said the last time we talked last week. I believe you were on the call with Tia and Don earlier today, right? Well, God bless you. God bless all of you. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think she got upset. I didn't have much time to go through even the Chat GPT notes. It was so much. Like even the breakdown through Chat GPT, because Miss T went really crazy, right? I didn't have a whole lot of time to go through the whole thing. Sandra says, "Hey, ODN, okie dokie." But I just don't get it. What are you trying to get out of it, Miss T? Are you just venting? Are you just using YouTube as an outlet now more so because you've been demonetized? What is your purpose? Like honestly, do you really think that you're harming me? And yes, I think you were and I have to review the transcript. Don't take me verbatim on this, but I think you were saying that I was talking about you stealing my business. You did try to steal my business. You've even said it before that you've done some things you shouldn't have done. You even shut the business down. At least you shut the nonprofit down. All this stuff here in California is still active as far as I see. I mean, here's the thing, Miss T. If you don't like me standing up for my business and standing up regarding what you did that affected me, if you don't like that and you think I'm affecting you, you can take me to court. You've been happy to take me to court in the past, right? You can certainly file on me again if you'd like. I don't think you would do that this time, Miss T, because I'm a lot better prepared. My organization is bulletproof with the business license, the LLC, the DBA, and even the federally registered trademark and the state registered trademark as well. And the federal employer identification number and the seller's permit and a bunch of things registered regarding my copyright stuff. I think I'm definitely far better prepared this time for any lawsuit that you may consider, ma'am, which is why you probably haven't sued me, ma'am, because my business is not as vulnerable or not. It's not vulnerable at all anymore. You exploited the vulnerability. Instead of being nice and trying to help someone, you exploited the vulnerability, and now you get triggered over it because you have nothing better to talk about, right? And then share the website uh, of all the stuff that you're claiming I'm involved in, and the GNA's involved, and my GNA's involved in, and GLM, and Sandra, and Tia, and screenshots. I mean, that is your website's all over the place, ma'am. All over the place. I mean, I haven't looked at it since you first put it out. I don't even care to look at it, quite frankly, because it's irrelevant, right? Nobody cares. And I'll tell you this, if anything, you're giving us free exposure and more people can find out about us. They're going to be like, wow, this woman is talking about this business. Let's check this guy out. Oh, this guy's a pretty cool guy. What was going on? Well, how much time do you have? You really want to know why she did all that? You want to know what's true and not true? How much time do you have? Or do you just want to take my word for it? These are just drama creators on YouTube that have nothing better to talk about, that need to constantly have a villain so they can play the role of the victim every time, right? If you agree, these are drama people that need to have a villain all the time so they can play the role of the victim to their audience to incite donations. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Come on. I don't have to beg you. Come on. I ain't too proud to beg, right? If I need it in the morning or the middle of the night, I ain't too proud to beg. You disagree? You don't agree? Okay. Oops, 1. Okay. Fair enough. All right, start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few. Bill, I'd like for you to go live and explain why you won't go live while your buddy, the defendant, and I are live at the same time. Is it because you share the same network and you don't want to upset him? You don't want to lose access to that network? If that's not the case, Bill, then you go live and explain. Is your audience different than his? Right? Bill, if you can't answer those questions, then we know that you're not a real YouTuber. A real YouTuber will answer those questions. And if not, Bill, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. We are at 66 minutes, an hour and 6 minutes. I'm going to get going. Love you all. I may or may not walk tomorrow. Probably not. Don and I have something to do tomorrow. And I may not be back in time. And I'm not going to walk beforehand. So you may not get another stream until tomorrow, possibly Monday. I mean, we have the podcast to do on Sunday. And depending on how late it is, hopefully I'll get a walk in on Sunday. But lots of love for all of you. Okay, let's see what some people do. Like, we don't want any issues here. We're not here to cause issues. But we're not gonna play games. When people play games with us, right? We're gonna stand tall and say, hey, look, here's our question. Are you willing to answer or not? If you're willing to answer, that's going to be telling. If you're not willing to answer, that's also telling. Either way, it's telling. Tia says, thank you. Thanks, Eli. Have a good night off. Thank you, everyone. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all next time. Good night, everyone.